What is good, Double Leg fam? It is time for the Double Leg Premium exclusive show where we're going to go through our bets and give you an explanation of why we took them. We got UFC Singapore this Saturday, and this is being filmed Friday night, 7:45 p.m. Central Time. So we don't have too long until these fights start. They're going to start at 4 a.m. our time. So we got what is that, like 9 more hours until the fights? So there we go. We don't want to
Yes,
waste any
sir.
more of your time. Let's get into it with the main event. What you got on that one?
Yes, the main event. Obviously, Holloway, massive favorite. Nothing really you can do with the money line or parlays, but I do think he comes out with a vengeance here. I do think he tries to get this thing done inside the distance. So I had to take him round 3 KO at plus 750 for 0.15 units. Round 4 KO for the same thing at plus 1,000, and round 5 plus 1,200 by KO 0.15 units. I think if he does finish it, it's just like an accumulation of volume and just kind of breaking him down with that pressure and all of his significant strikes he lands per fight, because he lands a ton of them. Korean Zombie's older. I think he could just melt him as the fight goes on.
Yeah, I didn't get too invested in this one because of the line, but I'm thinking along the same lines as you. I didn't take the inside the distance or the decision because I just couldn't get myself to
Yeah.
pick one, considering how many decisions Holloway's gone to. But I did take the over 2.5 in that fight in a parlay with the under 2.5 of Chidi and Jokawani, Mihail Shacek, and the under 2.5 of Rinya Nakamura, Fernie Garcia at plus 167 for a unit there. I feel pretty good about that one. A little over under parlay for that. And then I got an underdog play minus 37.5 significant strikes for Max Holloway. I think, that's a pretty wide number, but I do think he could get that in like 2 rounds and just keep the pace on him, especially if it goes to, rounds 3, rounds 4, rounds 5. He's just going to keep the pace on. So if
Right.
this thing can complete 2 rounds, I feel pretty good about that because it is a wide line, but he racks up the volume pretty quickly, and the Korean Zombie doesn't throw a ton to begin with. So that's all I got on that one because it's pretty tough to play that one otherwise.
Yeah.
Anthony Smith, Ryan Spann, what you got on that one?
Oh yeah, dude. I like Smith a lot here. I'm just not impressed with Ryan Spann. Yeah, he's powerful, and he submits guys when guys leave themselves in bad situations. I don't think he's going to submit Smith. And for Smith, like if you just get through that first round, and you could finish him in the first round, like you did the first fight. But if you just get through that first round, I don't think Spann is going to have the fight IQ left. When he gets tired, he makes a lot of mistakes. He makes a lot of mistakes. Anthony Smith showed against Johnny Walker, like he's not the least durable guy in the world. He hit Johnny Walker a few times late in the fight that were pretty clean hits. And, I just think he's going to beat Spann here. I'm not big on Spann. So Anthony Smith on the money line at plus 110 for 1.5 units. And I also sprinkled on Smith by sub at plus 420 for 0.25 units. And Smith to win in the second round when Ryan Spann gets tired at plus 700 for 0.2 units. So, yeah, nothing big on those props at all. Just something that I think can hit. But really, we want to get that Anthony Smith money line to hit. We'll be good.
Yeah, I was initially on Ryan Spann, and I think we were both on him on the previous show. But after you look at it more, it's like all the values on Anthony Smith in this spot because like his 2 losses since he beat Ryan Spann. So he beats Ryan Spann, and then he comes in as an underdog. But the 2 losses since then is Johnny Walker and Ankalaev. It's like those are 2 tough guys. And then Spann, his 2 wins are Dominic Reyes and Iwan Kutalaba,
Yeah.
who just haven't looked good. And it was pretty much to the point where he catches him. Like he caught him with a guillotine and he caught him with a jab. So I don't. I mean, Ryan Spann's super explosive, and he could go out there and just finish Anthony Smith. But at this point, the underdog play I think I like on Anthony Smith there. So I got him. I got Anthony Smith on the money line plus 120 for a unit, and then I also threw in the round 1 sub as well at plus 750 for 0.1 units. That's how he got it done last time. And I mean, Ryan Spann gets subbed a bunch,
Yeah.
especially in the first round. So he burns out there. I like the sub for Anthony Smith. And then I also got the underdog play lower than 5 minutes of fight time for Ryan Spann. I do think it probably ends in the first. If it makes it out, then I like Anthony Smith's chances even more. So if it ends in the first, we're looking good. If it goes past the first, then Anthony Smith should be able to take over as well. Giga Chikadze, Alex Caceres. What you got on that one?
Yeah, I'm on Caceres here just for the value, not so much that I think I'm expecting him to win or anything. I mean, it's plus 200 for 0.75 units. So, lower than my standard bet. But man, Caceres has like got the sneakiest 6-1 or 7-1 record lately. I mean, he's beaten a lot of good guys. He shows a pretty well-rounded game. He's got good kicks as well. I know Chikadze should be the better striker on the feet, and he'll be kicking harder and stuff. But when he started getting touched by Calvin Cater, like the whole game plan switched with him. He just did not look good. He started to fade. And if Caceres can just get to the back at some points, not even get the takedowns, just wear on him a little bit, I think he's got a better chance in this fight. I mean, he's a pretty damn good fighter. Caceres is. Chikadze coming off the long layoff. I just think there's more value on Caceres. I think this line should be a tad closer. And for that reason, I just had to lay something on the dog here.
Yeah, I could see you there. I ultimately with the Chikadze side, it is tough to take a guy after that beating and the long layoff, but I do think he's a world-class striker. Like, that's just what it comes down to. And I don't expect him to come in here and knock out Alex Caceres because Caceres has been pretty durable throughout his career. So I do think he gets it done by decision. So I got Giga Chikadze by decision plus 110 for a half unit. And then I threw him in a parlay with Rolando Bedoya and Waldo Cortez Acosta at plus 166 for a unit there. I just think anytime Giga lands, it's going to be way more significant than what Caceres throws at him. I don't think Caceres has any real snap or pop on his punches. Like, he couldn't finish Daniel Pineda. I don't know how, because Pineda was gassed out to the point he was going to pass out. So I think Giga is going to land the more significant shots and pick up a win there. Rinya Nakamura, Fernie Garcia. What you got on that one?
Yeah, I went against the grain a little here, not picking Fernie, but Nakamura by decision. And my thought process here is that Fernie's never been finished, in his career. And he's got slick boxing and, defensive wrestling wise, like, he doesn't really allow himself to get in positions to get submitted. I think Nakamura could come out there super hot. And if he doesn't get the finish in the first round, I think he's going to be a little more tired than usual. Like, he doesn't really go this long in fights very often. And then for the rest of the fight, it's just going to be him trying to chain wrestle, get up against the cage, wear him down, and, ultimately just go to a decision and win 30-27, 29-28. So, I had to play that when I saw it was near plus 500. So I got it at plus 475 for 0.25 units.
It's not a bad look, honestly. Now that you say it, could happen. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I got Rinya Nakamura round one, plus 105 for 0.5 units, and a round one sub, plus 375 for 0.115 units. There, I do think he gets it done fairly quickly. Even though Fernie has never been finished, I think Rinya Nakamura throws a different level of finishing ability at him than the guys that he's been facing, as far as on the ground with the submissions and on the feet with the power, even the ground and pound. I just look at it like this, like, Rinya Nakamura is probably the next up guy. Like, he's a young, real prospect. And Fernie Garcia, 0-2 in the UFC. He has one knockout in his entire career. It's not like this guy, like, he's a solid boxer, but it's not like this guy is like some finishing type guy where you want to keep him around. They threw him all the way over to Singapore. I think he's going there to die. Like, he's going there to get sent a death wish. So I think Rinya Nakamura gets him out of there fairly quickly. And I also like the lower than 31.5 significant strikes for Rinya Nakamura. That is paired with minus 37.5 significant strikes for Max Holloway. We got 3x for a unit there on underdog. Rinya Nakamura throws hard, throws some heat. And I do expect him to probably go for some takedowns because it's path of least resistance, considering Garcia's boxing. So I like that. Aaron Blanchfield, Tyler Santos. What you got on that one?
Yeah, the only thing I have in this one is Aaron Blanchfield in a parlay with Garrett Armfield and Anthony Smith for plus 448 for a half unit. Just a small parlay. Just three fighters that their odds weren't that high, I guess. Like, they weren't massive favorites. And they're three fighters that I think can win their fights pretty easily. So I had to put them in that little parlay to try to hit something big. But yeah, Blanchfield, I hate that all the money's on her and the line's not that wide right now. I hate that. But when you really look at it, like Tyler Santos is solid everywhere, but Blanchfield just brings this different energy in there. At the beginning of the week, I thought it was going to be Tyler Santos. That's where the value and the play should be. But as we get closer, I think Blanchfield is just built for this.
Yeah, I think she is too. I like the momentum she's bringing in here. Tyler Santos been off for a while as well. Her last fight was in Singapore, and she lost, so she's going to go 0-2 in Singapore. That's what I'm hoping for. I got Blanchfield money line minus 134 for a unit. Then I also got Blanchfield by decision plus 150 for 0.5 units. She's finished her opponent the last 2 times out. I don't think she finishes Tyler Santos here. She probably gets it done by decision. So I like that one there. That's all I got on that one. We got Junior Taffa, Parker Porter, the free play of the week. We got Junior Taffa money line. I got him at minus 120 earlier in the week for 1.2 units. I think he probably knocks him out. Probably knocks him out first round or second round. That's when Taffa's most dangerous. I don't see where Parker Porter is going to be landing these takedowns and like just smothering him. I think that's his only chance. If he does that, all right, I'll live with it. But I think Taffa can get it done probably by knockout. What are you thinking?
Yeah, like the thing, I'm on the same exact play. I didn't get quite as good odds as you. I got minus 140. I wasn't going to go over minus 150. And the line was there at the beginning of the week. I thought he was going to grow and grow and grow. So I grabbed him for 2.8 units. And I'm really confident in him because you look at Porter and like, even if he does get a takedown or two, I look at the Usman fight with Taffa and he was cracking Usman every time they were on the feet and towards the later in the fight too, like at the end of the fight. So, while this thing is on the feet, which it will be more than that Usman fight, Parker Porter is going to be in a lot of trouble. And I think he's going to get hit. He will get hit really hard at some point. And, his Justin Taffa, Junior Taffa's brother, put him out in the first round. And I'm pretty sure Junior Taffa is the better striker of the two here and more powerful too. So I like that a lot. I saw Parker Porter cut down and lost a lot of weight or a lot of body fat. Honestly think that hurts him here because if you are trying to get the takedowns and you try to lay on top of them, Junior Taffa is not a little guy. He's a big, big dude. It's going to be hard to control him, in my opinion. Taffa has been working that grappling defense and wrestling defense since his last fight. So, yeah, give me Junior Taffa here. I think he gets it done.
I like it. We got Waldo Cortez Acosta, Lucas Dresky. What you got on that one?
Yeah, only play I got here is Cortez Acosta in a parlay with Bedoya at minus 105 for 1.05 units. And Cortez Acosta is just going to be faster. He's going to be a slicker striker. He's pretty accurate too. He doesn't have the most power, but I just don't see him being in a lot of trouble here. I like Brzeski. I think he does have some power, but he just hasn't looked all that great yet in the UFC. I think he's going to be a step behind Acosta here on the feet, and I think that's where the fight takes place. So I had to take him in the parlay.
Yeah, I like the output by Waldo and the power. I think he has the power advantage in this one. I don't think Dresky really packs too much of a punch. And Waldo's shown to be fairly durable, especially taking those leg kicks. Just kind of takes them. And he's still able to land a good amount of strikes. So I like him to win. I got him in a parlay that I said earlier with Bedoya and Chikadze. Then I got the under 2.5 rounds in this one at plus 135 for a half unit. They opened it up like heavily juiced to the under, and then it got steamed to the over. So I'm like kind of going to go against the grain here because these guys have gone to a decision a good amount of times. I mean, Waldo's been to a bunch of decisions. Was it 3 straight in a row? All of them in the UFC. Dresky's been to 2 straight decisions. I think one of them can catch the other one at least.
Yeah.
So I like that there. That's all I got on that one. Keep her moving. We got Toshiomi Kazama, Garrett Armfield. What you got on that one?
Yeah, I just got Armfield in that parlay with Blanchfield and Smith. And Kazama, lost to Nakamura in his first fight. I guess road to the UFC that was on that February card. And I just wasn't super impressed. I think he's got to get the fight to the ground. He's got to find a submission. I think Armfield is going to be way slicker on the feet and has the ability to keep it on the feet if he wants. I know David Onama took him down and got the submission, but I think David Onama is better than Tioshi, whatever his name is. So, yeah, I think Armfield gets it done, honestly.
Yeah, I think he does too. I got him on the money line at minus 149 for a unit. He's been off for over a year, and I think he needs a win here to probably get some money, honestly. Like
Yeah.
he's second guy or second fight in the UFC. The first one he took on short notice. That was at 145. He's a real 135er. He's coming in here against Kazama, who's kind of, I don't want to say submission or bust, but that's probably what he's going to be going for. I think Garrett Armfield can probably stay safe from the submissions, and he's probably going to outclass him on the feet. So I like that there. And then I also like plus 6.5 significant strikes for Garrett Armfield on underdog. You look at the stats, Toshiomi, he's got a negative strike differential based off of the road to the UFC fights. And then Garrett Armfield, negative strike differential as well. But that's also from one fight from David Onama. So, I mean, I think he's got the advantage on the feet, probably puts a pace on him on the feet there as well. So I like that. Giving him 6.5, it's just too much. We got Michal Olashechek, Chidi and Joe Kawani. What you got on that one?
Yeah, I'm on Olashechek, minus 115, 1.5 units. And, I think Chidi's got to get it done in the first round. He obviously can. Like, he's dangerous. He throws good kicks. Michal is kind of just strictly boxing with a good left hand. But I like his movement a lot more than Chidi. I like his in and out, his flow. If he gets in that flow, he lands that left hand from weird angles. He'll come over the top with it. He'll kind of come up underneath with it. And like I watched the Dustin Jacoby fight, and Jacoby finished him and got the win. But early in the fight, like Michal was landing on him, like straight on the chin with that straight left. And I think Dustin Jacoby's a lot better of a kickboxer and fighter, especially in that first few rounds, than Chidi is. So I had to go with him, man. I think he gets it done. I could see him getting a finish somewhere in the second or third, too.
Yeah, I like Michal's move down to 185. I don't really like Chidi's, like Chidi wasn't really, I mean, he's kind of like a last-second shot into the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
He got on the Contender Series when he was like 31, 32. Got a win, came into the UFC, back-to-back first-round finishes, and then since then, 2 straight losses, and specifically his last one against Duraev was not like a fun performance by any means. And you look at the one against Gregory, he had him hurt, probably could have had him out of there. And then he comes back in round 2. Gregory Rodriguez got half of his face on, and then he just crumbles. I'm like, how does that happen? So I think Michal, durable enough to hang in there with Chidi, throws a good amount of volume, and he's just going to stay in his face and pressure him. I don't think Chidi's going to handle it well. I think Michal pulls off the win there. So I got Michal money line. Michal Olashechek money line minus 110 for 1.1 units there. Song Kanon, Rolando Bedoya. What you got on that one?
Yeah, I got a couple plays on this one. Of course, Bedoya and that parlay with Cortez Acosta, which I think's hitting. I like Bedoya a lot in this fight, honestly. I think the boxing's super slick. He's super tough, too, so I think he'll be able to eat some shots if Song does connect. And as it goes on, like we saw against Chaos, he started winning the fight. And if he starts doing that against Song Kanon and keeps the volume up through the second and third round, I think he could find the finish. I mean, we saw Kanon get finished by Ian Gary late in the fight. He just kind of melted. I think Bedoya has the ability to do the same thing. So I took him by round 2 KO at plus 700 for 0.2 units and round 3 KO plus 1100 for 0.15 units. And I think it's going to happen, man. I'm feeling good about this one. I think he gets it.
I like it. I got Bedoya inside the distance plus 120 for a half unit, and Bedoya round 3 plus 1,000 for 0.1 units there. Also got him in the parlay, as I said earlier. And then I also got him higher than 62.5 significant strikes. Put a big pace on Chaos Williams' last time out.
Yeah.
Song Kanon, pretty dang hittable. And Bedoya hasn't been like some big knockout artist. So, I mean, you look at how many finishes he actually has. He's got 1 first-round knockout and then 3 third-round knockouts. He's been to a decision a bunch. So it's not like he's some big power puncher. I think he should get higher than 62.5 fairly quickly, maybe halfway through the second round or 2 rounds completed. Song Kanon, dangerous in the first. If Bedoya can just survive that, I like his chances to get a win there and get a finish late. Other than that, yeah, that's all I got on that one. Inside the distance, round 3, and higher than 62.5 sig strikes. That higher than 62.5 sig strikes is paired with lower than 5 minutes of fight time for Ryan Spann. That's 3x for a unit there. We got 3 more fights. Yusaku Kinoshita, Billy Goff. What you got on that one?
Yeah, I wanted to take Billy Goff, but oh man, Billy Goff. So you watch him and like he's durable. He's a dog. He's a junkyard dog. Hits decently hard, but I feel like he's a good scrappy fighter, but he lacks like that real technical mixed martial arts background and style. Like he might be a decent wrestler. Obviously, like I said, he's tough, but I think it just kind of ends there. I don't think he's this world class striker. I don't think he's a world class grappler. But I think Kinoshita on the feet is going to pick him apart. If the fight plays out on the feet, which hopefully Billy Goff doesn't get too many takedowns, I think he's just going to land that left hand over and over and over. And Kinoshita got taken down by Adam Fugit in his last fight and lost. But if Kinoshita has been taking this seriously, he's been working on it. I don't think that Billy Goff is as strong or aggressive with the takedowns that Adam would have been. So I'm just hoping for a knockout here. I think Kinoshita does get it done. I had to take him at -130 for 1.3 units.
Yeah, I like that side as well. He's 23 years old, coming off his first loss. I think being that young, he's still got room for improvement, and he could come in here and look like the ground game is much improved, or maybe just more. I don't want to say like comfortable with it, but I mean, this is still a value play to me. Like -124, I got Kinoshita money line at -124 for 1.24 units. At that price, I mean, we're looking at like he was -340 against Adam Fugit, who's like actually been in the UFC. And then he was -200 on the Contender Series against a guy who's 6'3". I mean, he's bigger than Billy Goff. Billy Goff is a dog, but I can't. It wasn't enough really for me to take Billy Goff. I think Kinoshita is just gonna, like you said, pick him apart on the feet with the hands and the kicks, and could get a win there. So, that's what I got on that one. This one, I actually can't wait for this one. Na Liang and JJ Aldrich. What you got on that one?
I'm not degenerate enough to have anything on this fight.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I was close. I know what you're playing. I was close, but I figured I could stay away from this and be fine with myself.
I got Na Liang round 1, so she could knock her out or submit her, plus 1,000 for 0.1 units. I had to play it because Na Liang, I mean, she's going up in weight to 125. I looked at JJ Aldrich on the scales today, maybe even more confident in this one. Like, she didn't look terrible, but I don't know. JJ Aldrich always looks like she's on death's door. She's just pasty as hell. Na Liang, very explosive in the first. She pulls it off, I'll be screaming at like 4:30 a.m. here. But yeah, it's a long shot. Definitely don't like get too crazy in that one. But I would love to see her go out there and start her in the first.
Yeah.
But other than that, pretty unplayable fight. Song Woo Choi, Jarno Aaron's the curtain jerker. What you got on that one?
Yeah, I gotta go Jarno, man. Plus 126 on the money line, 1.5 units. And at the weigh-ins, he looked pretty damn big compared to Choi. I was expecting Choi to be, this shredded monster that he looks like, and I was pleasantly surprised to see how big Jarno looked. I think Jarno's a guy that's probably constantly improving. We know what we're getting with Choi. Choi might stand right in front of him and trade shots, and if he does, I think he could get clipped. Choi has like the grappling advantage here probably, but I don't think he goes to it. I think he's in Singapore. He's closer to home. This is kind of do or die for him. I think he's going to look to do something big, get a big knockout and in the process get clipped, or Jarno's just going to have his way with him. So as a dog, it's hard to ignore Jarno Aaron's when he's fighting Choi here. So I had to take him.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got Aaron's money line plus 145 for a half unit. And then I got Jarno Aaron's inside the distance plus 325 for 0.2 units. I do like everything that you just said. I think Song Woo Choi, kind of I don't want to say a ended prospect, but he was like thought of to be something, not really there. Fight IQ, not really there. Durability, not really there. He's been finished 4 times in his career.
Yeah.
Jarno Aaron's, I think he could come in here and find a finish as well. I mean, if you look at the William Gomi fight, that's a tough fight. William Gomi is long and lengthy, and he just refuses to engage in anything that's like dangerous. So for Jarno to go in there and he only landed like 20 significant strikes throughout the fight, I think he's going to be looking to throw those hands in there in this fight against Song Woo Choi. So I also took him plus 8.5 significant strikes on underdog. That is paired with plus 6.5 significant strikes for Garrett Armfield. 3x for a unit there. So we got 3 plays out on underdog. But I like the plus 8.5 there for Aaron's. Songwoo Choi, pretty easy to hit. And Aaron's that one fight against Gomi is like damn near impossible to hit. Let's just be honest. Like the dude is long. Francis Marshall, Francis hit him like 10 times the entire fight. So it's a tough guy to hit. He's coming off that one. I think the data's probably a little skewed. I like the plus 8.5 there. And those are the bets for UFC Singapore. I think we got through them all. Is there any that we missed?
Not on my sheet.
All right. Well,
should be good.
I think mine are good too. Good luck to everyone. If you're tailing, if you're not tailing, good luck to your bets. And anything else you want to say to the Double A Premium members?
Let's make some money tomorrow. There's some good shots out there, good opportunities.
Yeah, if you're over in the East, then enjoy the fights during the day. If you're on the West, then hopefully you're getting up. If you're not, then turn off your notifications and take a look or take a watch when you wake up. But good luck to everyone. Double A Premium members. Appreciate you all. Double A signing.